Hey guys, welcome back. Today is the last day of our 12 days of Christmas and we are opening the biggest box yet. This is the Ryobi 18 volt 1 plus 6 gallon wet dry vac, the P770. Stay tuned, we're gonna open it up and try it out. All right, you know the drill. We're gonna go through the box specs first and then we'll open it up and try it out. So first off, it is the 6 gallon capacity. It has 80 CFM of airflow and weighs in at 16 pounds. It does include the 7-foot 1 7/8 hose, the Crevice tool, floor nozzle, cartridge style filter, and 2 of the extension wands. One of the other cool things to note about this design is it's a 4-wheel 360 swivel style. So because it doesn't have a power cord, it can actually swivel 360 and you can spin around in a circle. And it's got a system, or it's set up so that it can balance on the wheels in such a way that it doesn't tip over. So that's really cool. And all of the tools have an onboard storage area. So everything's nice and compact and together. All right guys, that's it for the box specs. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Hopefully we can keep it all in frame while we do this, because it takes up a lot of space. Get that there. All right, so we've got all the packing material. We're gonna turn this on its side and we'll pull this out sideways so you guys can watch along with us. It looks like most of it's just gonna pull out with the handle here. See how much falls off. Pull that out. And make sure we're not missing anything as we do this here. Operator's manual, put right there. And that's it for the box. So what that's telling me is that everything else is inside. So there are 4 latches. And that's that cool swivel design there. Pretty neat. So there's 4 latches on the exterior here that allow, once we've get that off, take that one there, that one there. Then we'll go ahead and just lift that up and off. So there is where the filter mounts to. This is the water stopper, so when it fills up with water, this will cut off or shut off the vacuum once it's full. That's that little slide there. You can see that go up and down. Get that out of the way. We'll pull out our extension wands here. Right there. Here is the hose. We pull this out. That's nice. It kind of clips to itself. Not sure on the hose is pretty stiff. I expected it to be a little bit more flexible, but nice hose. We have the crevice tool on the side. We have the floor tool, and that's a lot smaller than I expected. I expected a bigger floor or scrape tool, but anyway. And then we have the filter, and it looks like the filter actually mounts down, which is interesting. I expected the filter to mount to the top piece, but it looks like it's mounting down. So the filter on this unit actually mounts to the bottom. There's a little keeper, so we'll go ahead and pull this out. And there's a little hole that this mounts to. So right through there, and then on the bottom of the unit, there's a little plug. You can see down here. That plug is what that mounts to. So when you have the filter, you take the filter and you push it onto that. And there it is. So now it will stay in place, and that way when we put the top part on, the top part goes right through that, and there's a little rubber seal around the top here, or a little foam seal rather, and this seals up, and that's what allows the filter to do its thing. So when you're using it in the wet vac mode, you obviously will remove the filter and empty the contents, any of the dry contents, and then you can use it in the wet vac mode as well. So there it is. We'll go ahead and just put it together here now. So we'll put the filter back in, We'll put the top on. And one thing we're going to try real quick is if it can go both directions, which it looks like it does. Looks like it doesn't matter which way that is seated, which is a nice touch. They've made it so that it can go in either direction. And it's down securely there. Now the hose is supposed to be able to fit on the top here. If we put that together like that. And then our attachments, so we've got our extenders. Let's get these out from under there. These are supposed to go through here, like so. Put that one through. That's a nice bungee there. That holds really well. And then we can come around here. I assume that goes there. And we can put that one there. So it does have 4 places for attachments here. I assume we could also put the extenders there as well if we wanted to. So if we didn't want these on top here, we could put those potentially through this here. Obviously, don't want that hitting that one, but so like that. It's kind of nice, gives you the option there. And then again, the hose just rests there on top. A couple other features real quick on the vacuum. Obviously right here is where our intake is. So we're going to take the hose and connect it through there, and there's a little latch here. One thing that's interesting, I don't love that plastic. That is questionable. I don't really like that system. We'll have to see how that stands up with some use and abuse, but the hose in general, I'm not thrilled with the quality of this hose, and that definitely not that latch system, but that's what it is. That's where it goes. Hose right there, battery right here on this side, and then on the other side is our on-off switch on the handle there. And one thing that we're noticing real quick is there are a whole bunch of handles on this. In fact, I'm counting 5 handles right away. You have one on the top, you have one on either side right here, and then you have 2 on the bottom right underneath here and here. So there's a whole bunch of places you can lift and grip and move this vacuum, which is going to be really nice if you need to empty it or get it in and out of a truck or move it around. That's really cool. Really nice that they have so many handles on there. One other thing that would be really nice with this tool is if it was hybrid. It is not. This is a battery only 6-gallon shop vac. So it does require one of the 18-volt lithium 1+ batteries. One other thing to note is it does not have the brushless contact for the new HP batteries. So when we throw this in, it doesn't know that it's an HP battery. It's not reading that, but it will take advantage of the runtime, which is nice. One other thing is it does rock, so it is only ever on 3 wheels at a time. It's on the 2 side wheels, and then one of the 2 caster wheels underneath are touching at a given time, which gives it that ability to spin freely like it does. So now we've got that on, we've got the vacuum ready here. All right guys, so we have our Decible Counter app open. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the vacuum to get an idea, so that you have an idea of just about how loud this vacuum is. So guys, right there, about 93 decibels or so, about on par with a vacuum of this size. It is a fairly loud vacuum, but again, about what you would expect for a vacuum of this side. All right guys, we have made a mess on the table here. We've got sawdust, we've got wood chips, we've got scraps of garbage, Cheerios, a little assortment. Obviously not a full test, but this will give us an idea of a dry environment. We'll start off with the empty hose, then we'll try out the floor scraper and then the crevice tool. So again, we'll start off with the empty hose, just a bare dry test here as our first test. Again, not loving this hose. It is kind of fights you. I don't know if it just needs to be broken in, if it's just cold or what, but just my first impression there. All right, we'll just start on this outside, kind of do a little swath here. So that was working so well that I had to be a little bit careful. I was afraid it was going to suck up too much. So we're going to switch over to the scraper tool here and just get an idea. Now this is small enough that it's not going to pick up any of that that big stuff. So we'll move over to, obviously this can be used more for the sawdust, the fine dust. So we'll kind of see where the strengths lie with this one. Go ahead and turn it on. So not too bad there, understandably got some chunks stuck there, but it picked up a little bit more than I expected as far as the big stuff. Again, it's got such a narrow opening, and with these lines in it, it doesn't get completely flat to get you maximum suction there. So obviously this is a unique or a special use case, but did a pretty good job there. So now we'll switch over to the crevice tool here. And the crevice tool has a pretty big opening for a crevice tool. It doesn't really narrow all that much from the base through. So we should be able to pick up quite a bit with this one. We'll go ahead and give it a try now. And kind of same thing there, obviously struggling on some of the big stuff, but that's understandable. The Cheerios and other little crumbs, stuff that you would expect to use the crevice tool on, work just fine. So we'll go back to the open hose. Obviously with just the attachments, it's just going to make a little bit longer, so we won't try those out in this particular test, but we'll just finish up cleaning up. So I have the sneaking suspicion that something is caught because we're losing some of its power, and I expect the output or the suction to be better than what it is currently. So we're going to go ahead and just unlatch this real quick, take a look, see if there's anything, nothing blocking it there. Let's go ahead and detach, and there's our problem. As we expected, whole bunch of stuff stuck at the end, which was interesting because it still had some good suction. It was still trying to pull a lot, but obviously had a blockage there. So we'll go ahead and reattach that and turn it back on. There we go. honestly pretty impressed by the power and the suction that this has. Obviously a little restricted there. It was getting caught on some of the bigger stuff, but not hard to clean out. These latches system is really nice, really fast, and easy to get it open. The one thing I'm still fighting though is this hose. I'm just not loving the plastic on this hose. It's tough, it's fighting me. But again, maybe with a good break-in period, or if it was just a little bit warmer in here, the hose would react different. But otherwise, it's doing great, guys. All right, guys, before we move on to our water test, what we'll need to do is empty out the container and remove the filter. So we'll go ahead and open it up here now, like so. Again, because the filter doesn't attach here, it's actually kind of nice. We can take this out and not worry about damaging the filter. We do obviously have to be careful of the plastics on here, but we can get this out of the way. And once we have that out of the way, we can go ahead and remove the filter. And again, it's just a nice pull straight up. And we can dust out the filter there, like so. And in order to empty this, we are going to have to get some of these other things out. We'll detach the hose. And again, because it's got handles everywhere, and in this case, right here on the bottom, it makes it easy. We can even, this is an easier vacuum to empty than the 3-gallon wet dry vac because there's no lip around the edge. As you notice, this you could easily empty into even a 5-gallon bucket or something like that because of the way it empties there. So in fact, for this, what we're going to do is empty the 6-gallon into the 3-gallon. So right here, we'll go ahead and just set the 3-gallon basin there, and you can see all of the contents, and we can just direct this straight through there. Nice and easy. Whew. So some of the contents are getting caught on these lines, and that could be a problem. Some of the sawdust and whatnot's being caught there, but otherwise it's emptying pretty well. If we go like that, maybe. All right, so now it's empty and ready for wet vac. All right, so again, we're gonna leave the filter off. We're going to set the top on and latch it down, reattach the hose, and we're ready for our wet vac test. So this is a 6-gallon wet dry vac, so ideally it should be able to handle this entire 5-gallon bucket of water without a problem. So we'll go ahead and turn it on and see how quickly it can empty this and if it can empty the entire thing. So we've got our bare tool here. We'll go ahead and turn it on. So right there, it hit the cutoff. You could hear when the sound changed, and it almost got the entire bucket. It looks like we've still got maybe half a gallon left. So about 4.5 gallons or so. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and open this up and take a look at how much water or where the water line is. And you can see it emptying out. So the obvious restriction here is the intake. Obviously it can't get any higher than this, otherwise the water is going to spill back out down the hose as soon as you turn it off. So it has cut off about half an inch below this unit. So the water right is just about a finger or so below this line is where the water line ended up. So obviously can't take advantage of the entire 6 gallons, but nearly did, again, about 4.5 gallons is what we figure it was able to hold as far as water goes. And it sucked that up really fast. I even had to muscle it back down because of the force that it had pulling all of that water in. All right, guys, so we only did 2 tests today just to try out both the wet and the dry. Obviously, again, not in every setting that you would use this vacuum. This is just our initial thoughts. We will do more tests with this vacuum, but just our initial impression is pretty good. There's things we like and things we don't like about this vacuum. The first thing right off the bat is the 6-gallon capacity is really nice. We like having a bigger capacity than the 3-gallon vac or the hand vacs that we have from Ryobi. The real awesome thing about this, the fact that it's battery powered and it's 6 gallons, is the power. The power on this is impressive. For a battery powered vacuum, it definitely does feel like a regular shop vac, one of the big shop vacs. It has the power, I think, to stand up against those. Now, it may not be quite on the premium level, but it definitely has plenty of power, or a lot of power that we would expect from a vacuum of this size. As far as quality goes, the latch system, the wheels, the casters, all seem really high quality. Definitely at the top of what we would expect from Ryobi. The one thing that we don't like nearly as much, though, is this 7-foot hose. The hose is just not what we expected, especially compared to every other piece of this vacuum. The hose quality is still a little bit in question. The latch system, if you can see it here, is just a piece of plastic that bends, and every time you bend that puts stress on that plastic right there, and we're just worried about the lifespan of that. Hopefully they have replacement pieces or packages or whatever, but again, this is all one piece. This whole hose, the connection system, it's all one piece. So if that goes bad, you're replacing the entire system. And with the shop vac like this, I'd expect to pull it around by the hose. That's going to put stress on that connection. But long-term test, we don't know. But for right now, that's one area of concern we have. Another thing we like about this vacuum is all of the onboard storage. The fact that the 7-foot hose nestles right on top. You have the extenders that can go either on the side or on the back through these loops. You have the crevice tool and floor attachment that both can attach here. The one thing with this, though, is that the battery doesn't like to be on with the hose on. You kind of have to move it out of the way, especially if you have the 9 amp hour battery or the 6 amp hour. They kind of protrude enough that it makes it a little bit difficult. But otherwise, as far as being able to have all of your tools on the vacuum is awesome. We have other shop vacs that don't have that ability, and it's frustrating because you lose the attachment of the tool and you have to go find it. And so this is awesome design choice. And while we do like all of the onboard storage, the bungee system isn't ideal. It pulls, and as you notice when we pull one of these out, it kind of offsets and they actually work together. So if you have one pulled all the way, it pulls the other one down. A simple clip system would be nicer, but we can definitely understand why they did the bungee system, and it allows you to keep the vacuum from breaking. There's no breakable clips or pieces here, but the bungee system isn't our preferred, but we definitely understand why they used it. Another thing that we've already pointed out that we like are all of the handles. Again, there are 5 built-in handles, 1 on the top, 2 on either side of the top piece, and then 2 on the bottom to help with emptying. So the handle placement and the plethora of handles that are on this unit, all 5 are in good position and very intuitive and easy to use. One thing that we haven't tested out in this video is the runtime, and that's definitely a concern where this doesn't have the unlimited runtime of a cord. The battery runtime is definitely something that we will test out in a future video. All right guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. Definitely helps us out, lets us know that you're enjoying the content. If you like our channel and what we're doing, think about subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that little bell icon because we upload new videos each and every week. Also, make sure to check out the links in the description below to see more on what we're doing. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This has been a fun 12 days of Christmas that we've done, opening these boxes, showing you guys some new tools. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and we're excited to hear what Ryobi tools you got for Christmas. Hopefully there are some Ryobi tools under your tree. Obviously, we decided to buy ours early and open them up for the 12 days of Christmas.
Make sure to comment below and let us know what you got or what you want us to review, or if you want us to do more on a specific tool that you saw during this 12 days.
or through the entire year. It's been an awesome year, and really you guys are what makes this happen. So when you give us a comment and when you tell us what tools you want to see on the channel, that's how we decide what we go and buy and get and then bring back to open for you guys.
And we have some exciting things for 2019, so make sure that, you know, after you have a great holiday, that you tune in as well.
Happy holidays, guys.
Let's do this. Some of those getting flung.
Bam! Perfect. Yeah, it's off. It's out.
She's gone. Is it still blowing?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to stop. Thought it had an auto cutoff.
Apparently it doesn't.
And a whole bunch in the hose that's got to come out before we do anything. Just gonna eat up this whole thing. I gotta figure out how to remove like that. Where is my Decible Counter app? Oh, yeah. So they just came out with another handheld vac. So as soon as I got all of them, now they came out with a new version of the non-Evercharge. What a mess. We need something to clean up this mess. Look at me now. Oh. Yeah, it's a 7-foot hose, and I'm not, and I don't even have a 6-foot wingspan, so this should go a full foot past. Which, I don't know, maybe I've got a longer wingspan than I thought. All right, that was fun. Oh, oh, a little collection they were making there. Those sneaky